If you've ever felt like the third wheel, this podcast is for you.
If you love Wheel of Time, this podcast is for you.
If you're bored and have nothing better to do, this podcast is for you.
Join Rob,
Megan,
And Jen
in celebrating the Wheel of Time
and its statistically best fandom
and ridiculous gaming skills,
and probably a few cocktails.
and find out which one of them will be the third wheel this time.
This is
three-wheeling.
Aloha!
Wow! Energy straight off the bat. Okay.
Right? I don't even know how she has energy. She's been
That's
traveling
how
for 24
cruise director
hours.
Anne-Marie always greeted everybody on the Hawaii cruise. So
Nice.
Fair. But she hadn't had like a 24-hour journey just trying to traverse half your country, basically. So,
Right.
yeah, it was rough.
rough. Yeah, I love the energy. Hey, everybody.
I was in LAX from
we're
5
here. We're
a.m.
recording on
to 6:40. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
Fine. Do you mean 6:40 p.m., by the way?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, she
5
does. She
a.m.
was
to
at LAX
6:40
for
p.m. I
13
was in
hours.
LAX and didn't see a single celebrity.
You saw me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Emmy-nominated
absolutely
Jen Sedai.
right. Yes.
Come on. So,
Right? Right? I count. Yeah, I'm
So
not
right,
a
you
celebrity.
say that
Not
didn't see a
celebrity.
celeb. I found out last week that Ed Sheeran likes to fly like regular airlines whenever he can. Like he almost never takes a private jet anywhere unless it's a requirement. Like, you know, when he joined Taylor on her tour, for example, she's like, I fly in a private jet. So he had to fly with her type thing. But yeah, when he does his touring, he takes regular planes.
That's awesome.
Does he
And I'm
do
just
that
like-
for environmental reasons?
Absolutely, yeah. He's just
Okay,
like, I
yeah.
don't, you know, yeah. He's like, I don't need, I can afford one, but I don't need one. He's like, you know, it's bad for the environment flying constantly. So, you know, why would I get a private jet for one person? Why would I not share? it
That's
with other
awesome.
people? Yeah. So,
That's
and he
awesome.
doesn't do first class either. He sits in the fucking cheap sheets with the rest of it. I was like, you kidding me? I think that's when he does like, you know, like, have you ever heard Rosamund? We're really not even on topic this week, but who cares?
Who cares?
Did you ever hear like Rosamund talk about like how just taking like flights from Prague to London and stuff? Sometimes she'll just like, yeah, I mean the family and the kids, you know, we've done the Wizz Air, we've taken the, you know, the cheap flight type thing. They don't do first class, obviously. Wizz Air is like a budget airline.
Right?
You know?
Yeah. Wizz Air's
yeah.
like Ryanair.
Like Ryanair, exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I suppose he takes first class on like I would imagine on a long haul flight, but if it's a
Yeah.
short one, he's probably just like, I'll just take a fucking, you know, like
Yeah.
first class. You just sit at the front of the plane. Who cares? Like, so he probably.
Well, it
just-
also just it makes it. I mean, I know that they have money and like money isn't a concern, but you know, for short like flights, when you're like, okay, I could take the bus for $39, or I could take the train for $49, or I could take the plane for $49. You know, for a short thing, but then as soon as you bump up to first class, it becomes like, oh, now it's like a big deal. But when you're like, oh, this is just public transit. I'm taking public transit with my family, 4 of us at a reasonable price.
So especially
Love
that
me
you didn't
some-
see.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love me some budget airfare. Megan knows
Yes.
I'm a Spirit Air fan.
I am not
no
a
longer.
Spirit fan right now.
Look, I've been
Flight
screwed over
delayed
by the.
3 times. No, thank you.
I've been screwed over by the fancy airlines. I've been screwed over by the cheap airlines. Like, you know,
Yeah,
plane goes
Same.
wrong, plane goes wrong. You know, so.
Yep. Yep.
you
Bad
know,
customer service is bad customer service everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, definitely been there. So, but you're here. You've made it. This is why we're
I'm
recording.
safe.
This is why we're recording so late on a Monday, folks, as opposed to our usual Saturday slots.
Yes.
But yeah, we're here. We're going to have fun. We are going to talk conventions. We're going to talk merchandise. We're going to talk all sorts of fun things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's a
And
nice
drinks?
it's a nice sort of out of sequence kind of thing.
yeah.
I've normally
Yeah.
drank already by now on the ship, so I'm ready to drink now.
Oh my god.
Megan,
God.
that
He's on a bender.
that was. I know you're on your summer vacation, but that
Right?
was the little. You know, especially folks, you can't see this if you're just listening, but like there was the little hand finger tappy thing where it's just like,
Yes.
can I,
She's like, ask me what I'm drinking already, so
Yeah.
I can drink it. Also, Megan, I like your beachy hair. I like your beach waves. Did you get
Well,
the
I
salt
did
spray?
do the
It's very
sea salt
beachy,
spray because I took the shower last
Nice.
night, so it wasn't going to look good straight. So I did the sea salt spray.
It looks amazing. It's very
Thank you.
fun. I love it. It's a good
Yes.
look on you.
I agree. So, all right, Jen, do you know what time it is?
What time is it, Rob? I think it's time to ask.
I think it's time for you all to see my new hat. That's what time it is. There we go. So, as promised during my wonderful fundraiser, so I could go to Wotcon, I promised that I would dress as Savannah. Pieces have started to arrive at the outfit. It's definitely not a case of me being last minute Larry and procrastinating. But it's going to work out however it's going to work out, and I'm going to walk back out.
Supply chain.
I have someone who's going to do my makeup. Let's just, we'll say that. I've secured a makeup artist. So
Nice.
yes.
Nice.
But delivered today, just for Laura, who's watching, who hopefully you can see this well enough, considering it's a third of the camera. But yeah, this is my big, giant, floppy, straw-style hat that I'm going to, fold up and bosh like that into a Savannah-style hat.
Amazing. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to change our podcast thumbnail, like our weekly thumbnail, to be some rando image from our recording.
Do you know what? The random images Riverside give us, one of us is always pulling a stupid face that doesn't look good.
Of course. Of course.
I'm just like, oh man, I look every time I edit and I'm like, none of these images look good.
I'm always pulling a stupid face. I'm just saying, it's very difficult to catch me on camera not making a stupid face. It's hard.
It's the nature of recording. So,
Yes.
but yeah. But Jen, do you actually know do you really know what time it is now?
I'm guessing, is it, I think it's time to ask, what's Meg drinking? That was pretty good. I don't know how good it was for anybody else listening, but for me it sounded good.
On the next recording, it's going to be great because we'll be together.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. So you guys can help me decide on the name. So the inspiration for this was on the cruise, I discovered a new cocktail called a rum cake martini, and I was obsessed with them. So they were very nice to have in between my citrusy martinis or whatever to just kind of ease down the acid and stuff. So what it is, so I'm calling it either Aes Sedai or Servants of All because it's a really dark bottom, like the black, and then the white cream on the top. I tried to pour the cream on top in the symbol of the Aes Sedai. It did not work out.
Yeah.
It just kind of went, nah.
It just went out. Yeah.
Anyway.
Although I wonder if you could get a mold, put a little a mold thing on it.
And
it would have to float.
Yeah. Or something on it something on it you could like a little piece of licorice or something that you could put across it to float it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe you could make something, this is obviously not for this cocktail now, folks, but maybe you can make something in the shape of the flame of Avalon that you could make float on top. Mm-hmm. That then might slowly dissolve into the cocktail.
Ooh.
Because then, unless you wanted them to have
a meringue or something.
Like a meringue or something. Yeah. I don't know.
I like Servants of... I like being the old name. When you just say Aes Sedai and I saw the black and the white, I did think, is this about the Black Aja? So if we're talking about ancient Age of Legends Aes Sedai, you could call it the Hall of the Servants, since you so desperately wanted that to be the Hall of the Servants.
Maybe I should do that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. The Hall of the Servants. This is a winner.
All right.
And folks, if you're not aware...
Is it Hall of Servants or Hall of the Servants? I thought it was the Hall of Servants.
Maybe the Hall of
Servants.
The Hall of Servants sounds good. I mean, we can change that for a cocktail, but the Hall of Servants sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my inspiration, just because it was a really tasty cocktail, and I was really just trying to come up with something last minute.
You were on vacation. It was I fully expect you to be like, I made a cocktail, but we don't have a theme this week, so it's okay.
No, I always make a cocktail. Anyway, so the recipe is in a shaker with ice. You're pouring 1.5 ounces of black or dark rum, 1 ounce of creme de cacao, 1/2 ounce of Chambord, and Chambord is a black raspberry liqueur. Shake, strain it into a glass. Then you have to discard the ice, which then I also cleaned the shaker so that the cream was not unsullied by any other colors. And then you're pouring the cream in the shaker. It's 2 ounces of cream. And then you pour it over top after you shake it with a bar spoon so that it kind of sits on top. So Cheers.
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 Okay, as long as we're workshopping, however, I did say, when you just mentioned the dark rum, I was like, is there a Baal Doman element to this? Or is there a sea folk element to this?
Oh.
Like the sea folk marriage vows that are like, you know, they're one way in public and then they're the other way when you're at home. You know, because Maureen and Len or Nynaeve and Lan have to do that. So all I was thinking was, is there a sea folk element to it? Is it the bowl of the winds? Could it be? Never mind. You seem to be.
Do you recognize this, Jay?
Is that from Mom and Dad's?
So I have no idea how old it is.
Oh, creme de cacao.
Is that what you're drinking right now?
It's punchier for sure.
Yeah, because it's old.
If this fermented more or like had more alcohol than ones normally
Warning,
do.
Megan might still be drunk come Wotcon in next weekend. So
Very possible. Or have horrible food poisoning from whatever she's drinking out of my parents' liquor cabinet.
Do you know, I feel like that almost happened to me today. Folks, welcome. This is going to be such a crazy episode. Honestly, like there are no rails for us to even be close to being on.
None. No rails.
No rails. That's the title of the episode. No rails. we skipped the rails or something like that. There we go. We'll have fun with it. But you say about things fermenting and maybe getting ill. When we changed menus a while back from work, brought home a half-full small bottle of what's the super fancy mushrooms called? Truffle
oil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I brought home a small half-filled small bottle of truffle oil, and I was like, great, I'll use that. I'll make a truffle mac and cheese. I'll like I'll do like truffle fries, all sorts of crazy things like that. And it sat there on the bench, wrapped, like it didn't have a lid, but I wrapped it up, so it was sealed. Totally forgot about it. It's got to sit there for 3-4 months, easy. But, it's like, well, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's like sauces. They just keep going and going and going. Like, the guide dates on most things. Anyway, so I really fancied a bowl of fries earlier. So I got some fries out of the freezer, put my air fryer, cooked them off. And I was just like, aha, I'm actually going to put fucking truffle oil on my fries. And a little bit of salt, a little bit of truffle oil, shook it around. Bloody lovely. Eaten most of them. And then either I got a bad bit of salt, or the truffle oil started to turn, or something wasn't agreeing with whatever I was doing. Because suddenly I was half a chip in my mouth, and I just went, oh, I'm going to be sick.
Oh, no.
Am I going to be sick? That sort of moment where you second guess yourself? And then I was like, oh, no, I'm going to be sick. And I got up, and I walked out the living room, fast pace, got to the door of the living room, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be sick. I feel absolutely fine. But I'm not going to finish these chips now just to be safe. So, yeah. And I'm also not going to have any more truffle oil to be safe.
No, it's so devastating. Truffle oil is such a, it's premium. It's
expensive.
I might try it again when I get back from the trip, just in case.
I'm not recommending it. I just want to put it out there that I
have a very strong constitution, honestly. Continuing by the way, I didn't give you ASMR. Still on the rocky road, folks.
Nice.
Because we are on a rocky road. So your ASMR. Oh, Jesus. This is what happens when you get a can that's really stuck and you don't have long nails.
Nope.
There. Come on.
Nice. Nice.
Done.
I think most people who work in kitchens have an iron gut.
Yes. Honestly, I was on a.
Mm-hmm.
I was in New Zealand. We were on a. I worked for a franchise, coffee franchise. We were setting up a franchise somewhere. The concept is, you work crazy for 7 days and then you get your time off. We went out for, I don't know, some style of Asian food, and it was not great. It didn't taste bad in terms of being off or anything, but it was just it was crap. It was this is not very good quality, but whatever. The next day, I actually had a day off, because otherwise I was going to be working 10 days straight, because one of the trainers couldn't stay more than 4 days. So I actually got a day off. I enjoyed the city we were in. I just wandered around. It was a student place. It was great fun. I pop in the coffee chain, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, something like that. Walk in, and my boss goes, "You're fine, aren't you? Look at you." And I'm like, "Sorry, have I upset you by coming in?" And she's like, "No, but you're not ill, are you? You haven't been throwing up all day, have you?" I was like, "No, of course not.
No.
Why would she?" Yep. And Nellie, my boss, had been throwing up all day, and the girl who was going home the next day, Shanae, I think her name was, she'd been sick all night. And I, perfectly fine.
Nothing. Didn't even notice.
Nope, didn't even notice. And I was like, why didn't you fucking get me out of bed and make me come in and work? Like, yeah. So I ended up. So I will try it again when I get back from Wotcon. But yeah.
Excellent.
Carrying on chaos.
Yes.
I'm anxiously awaiting to hear
online.
the results of your experiment.
It
Or
won't be for
during
another
the
few
podcast.
weeks. Yeah, it'll be like, when we get back. So.
Right.
But yeah. Meg.
Yes.
Anything, I know you've been on holiday. Was there anything fun on the socials that caught your eye?
Fun. I don't know. I mean, because again, I have been gone, but we haven't talked about Rosamund hanging up her ring. So.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we should talk about
No, we
that.
haven't. Yeah.
Welcome to the depressing part of the podcast, everybody.
Right. Hey,
Well, and then I
everybody,
have a really
grab your
weird
box
fun
of
dream I
tissues.
can tell you. So,
Yeah. Grab
after
your
that.
tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody's like, don't matter, we're not stopping.
Yes.
Basically, in the fandom, they're like, hang your ring up, bitch. We're not.
Yeah.
But no,
Whoa,
no one was calling
whoa.
Rosamund a bitch. I know.
Whoa.
Sorry. I just threw down with Maureen.
And
But
you will
I
lose.
reckon you could hold your own. I reckon you could
Nope.
hold your own.
She will lose.
I didn't say she was going to win. You can hold your own and still lose.
Yes,
You know?
I know. Or against Maureen or against Rosamund Pike?
Maybe both.
Megan.
I don't know.
Oh,
Wow.
Megan's only saying that because she was really mean and played really dirty and wrestled really dirty when we were children.
And
I
I'm
mean,
13 years younger than you, but
I
No,
don't-
I wasn't a
see-
child.
I don't see Meg I don't see Meg standing up to Egwene or Maddie, so,
Oh, there you go.
there we go.
I mean, I will for sure admit that I would not. Like, she's from like the outback. I mean, no
I
way.
lived in the outback. I
That's
did.
true. You did.
Yeah, I'm tougher than you are, Meg. We'll just put it out there. What?
In certain
said it.
respects.
Yeah.
Outdoorsy things, sure, but I'm scrappy.
So do we need to have is this another, wrestling match? Is this one of the attractions at Wotcon now? Is that what's going to happen?
It is
Meg, how
definitely
get enough
fast are you
drinks
drinking
for
that cocktail?
She's going to drink it fast because she
It's
hasn't
so
had anything to drink
delicious.
yet today. But also, we are not doing that at Wotcon because here's the thing. Megan was significantly, I'm not going to put a number on it because y'all know how old she is, but Megan was significantly younger than I when we were kids growing up. And so I was a big sister who was worried about her. It is exactly like your girls, Megan. Leia's really careful with Avienda, and Avienda will just like she
Break
just
bones.
yeah. And and I was like, she's
Very
my baby
far
sister.
to rise my.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, she's. Oh my god. Yeah. Although she wouldn't do well. She wouldn't do well with. Sorry, never mind. I even told you she tried to steal everything in the house. She squirreled a bunch of stuff away in the suitcase. Kyle's favorite flower, a few other things, like her backpack.
She
was like, she is. She was like, I'm packed, and I was like, oh honey, thank you for packing your stuff in there, but I wanted to I'm going to put your clothes in a bag so they're all tight and so we can fit as much in there as possible. I want to squish it down. She's like, okay, and then I started taking her clothes off, and I was like, Avienda, this is Kyle's. He already told you he wants it, but I need it. And I was like, you're not getting this. And so I took a few more things out. I was like, Avienda, what about this? She was like, and she just gave me the cute grin. And then a few minutes later, Kyle said,
Megan's face, people, is just...
We're going to have words.
No, please do not. Kyle said, Avienda, you're a little thief. Do you have anything else in there that's mine, that's ours? And then she went, and she I gave him a new pencil case, and she had already had the pencil case full of all of our markers. She was taking all of our Sharpies home.
I did see a pencil case. Is that yours?
No, that's hers. I gave her that. But she put all of our markers in it. And I was like, you can't steal all my Sharpies. I need my Sharpies. And so then she still had one pencil.
And she doesn't need Sharpies.
I know. And she was not allowed to use Sharpies while she was here, but then she snuck Sharpies too. Anyway, she's hilarious, but the maidens would have some serious words because I know the Aiel do not take kindly to theft.
This is true.
She's going to have some toe. She's building up some toe in a big way. She's got some lessons to learn.
I'm sorry.
But she did admit that she had that pencil in there at the end. She was like, yeah, I still have one thing. I was like, I took everything out. She was like, no. And she brought the pencil out. It's like, you can keep the pencil.
My God.
For being honest.
Oh,
It was
bless her.
hilarious. She's amazing. She cracks me up.
Love it. Love it. So, Rosamund and the ring. That was a shitty day on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't in all of it. I saw that, and that was about it. And I think I messaged you guys, and I was like, "Well, this sucks." And then
You did message. I did. That's all I saw too.
It, so yeah.
Yeah, I saw some people talking back and forth about it, and they're just like, "Oh, maybe it doesn't mean anything," or like she's not as involved as like Rafe or some of the other people that might know or not know, and
she is
back and forth, and I'm like, yeah.
She is, though. If she weren't an EP, if she weren't as involved of an EP on the show as she is and has been all the way through, I would have just been like, well, this is just an actor being bummed. And in a sense, I mean, well, look, okay, let me just, I do have one small silver lining. I don't know, I mean, if we knew, we've all been suspecting, this is full spoilers, we've all been suspecting that potentially Maureen would only last the first episode of season 4 anyway, you know, because we are expecting her to leave the series, at least for a while. So it's possible that she is just like, yeah, I'm going to like we would figure it out, whatever. I don't know. But like, I mean, it's possible that she was just like, I'm not going back to the tower, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is what my character is doing. And I mean, it's done.
I can Bigfoot if you'd like right now. I have a Bigfoot.
Go ahead. Do some Bigfooting.
Let's do some Bigfooting.
Yes.
They are secretly writing season 4. Even though, because Apple are in discussions with Sony about picking up the show, so they've started to write season 4, and they already told Rosamund she's going to cock it completely in episode 1, quote, cock it, and so she's, like, misdirecting us with, like, I hang up my ring because she, quote, died.
That is a Bigfoot.
I like that Bigfoot, but it feels about the biggest foot we've ever drawn. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and I was actually thinking, because you know how like it seemed like they were going to kill her all season?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that was the plan, and then news of them not getting renewed and hoping that they were going to be picked up was like, we can't kill our biggest name star of the show in the hopes that someone picks it up. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So in her... Yeah. So her saying hanging it up is... What does that mean?
That means
at this point,
talks are not going or talks are not going well.
Oh, I understood what you said. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we talked about this before. You know, I don't know exactly all the situations, but there are many, many players involved, and it's. I'm going to sneeze off. I'm so sorry. I couldn't even get to the mute button before I had to sneeze. I'm so sorry. I was trying to find mute and run away from the mic. The issue being that, whatever kind of timelines are on people's and corporations' rights agreements, we do know. It also could be that we do know that they hadn't released the main cast yet. And it's possible that they went ahead and just released the main cast because they were like, even if we're trying to renegotiate this, we can't ask, it's still going to take a while to do that, and we can't ask people to stay attached to the show and keep them from doing other work. So it is possible that, she literally could have just gotten a call from her agent in that moment that was like, they're releasing you. And it could have been a completely heartfelt just response to that and just posting it because of that. And then, that really doesn't mean anything about what's happening with negotiations, but it also could mean... It could just mean the cast is released, and I think that does make everything harder to negotiate because it's harder then to tell a company like Apple TV or Netflix, you'll still have the same cast here. You'll still have, we'll be able to reboot it with these people. I don't know.
I had heard who was kept on their contracts, and Rosamund's name was not mentioned in that list.
Oh.
Probably because she's more money?
Probably because she's an EP. They probably were just like, she's connected, so we don't need to renew a contract just yet anyway. So why extend a contract of such a heavily involved EP? Like, being an EP keeps her connected anyway, so... but yeah. I mean, maybe it was just like maybe they're letting the rest of the cast, maybe they're releasing the rest, and she's like, okay, well that's kind of a closed door situation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, or it could just be that we've talked all along that we don't know what kind of active shopping. We know that active shopping wasn't happening, but inactive shopping can be conversations that are happening. But it is possible that someone just said no. Like whoever has whatever version of what parts of the rights is like it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe there's something on the IWAT side of it, and them saying if you're not gonna do it at this point. I don't know what their agreements say too, which is if you aren't going to shop it in earnest, we can pull it back and go our own way.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that there has to be some kind of good faith clause in the rights contract that Sony has, that if they deliberately tank it, IWAT can be like, hey, you're not doing, if they can prove, hey, it's not making money, so we're not going to shop it, that's different, but if they're just actively, like the rumor that Sony want to get out of TV, so they're just tanking everything. Like if there was no hard proof that they were like, oh, we cancelled it because of lack of money or lack of this, but again, that's all it's situational, isn't it? So
it's so ambiguous. You can't. I mean, there's nothing that they could be actively tanking it by literally, like, unless we could prove that they were actually hiring bots to put out bad reviews, like
or
there's almost
got a
nothing.
recording of the meetings where they're like, you know what, just kill all the TV programs and pretend that they didn't make money, unless you've got that secret boardroom meeting. Not saying that exists, but like, in that scenario, if you had that, then you could be like, well, here's proof that you're not shopping it and you're not doing good faith.
But I think that would be almost impossible to find. And truthfully, I mean, like the numbers are good, but it's such a weird thing now of like trying to like show numbers. You can show great numbers and still say yes, but we're not making money on it because it's so expensive. So there's always a good excuse for the studios to cancel a show or to not renew a show that has nothing to do with
it's not making enough money because this is our standard.
Or we have to be able to make this much back or whatever. So it's.
The ROI has to hit a certain percentage or whatever. It's
well, and again, I think the return on investment, I mean, I know I could go off on this forever, but I think the return on investment for Wheel of Time was better than what it was for Rings of Power. It's just that contract that they had.
For sure.
Yeah. I think if they didn't have that 5-season minimum with Rings of Power, then they would... Because I honestly think Amazon are just trying to claw everything back because they're stuck with that 5-season contract and it doesn't give them the ROI that they want. And so they're like, we need to cut other things that are A, doing badly, or B, costing us a lot of money without a very large return on investment. Mm-hmm. And I think if they didn't have that situation where they're stuck with the 5 seasons, I assume if they don't do it, massive fine involved, then they wouldn't be trying to claw back money everywhere else on those types of shows. And unfortunately,
which again, I know it's not Rings of Power's fault, but it makes me so angry.
Look, I know, but you can't compare that stuff.
I know.
Full respect to whoever negotiated for Tolkien Estate, man.
Yeah.
Full respect to them. It sucks for us, and nothing against the Rings of Power fans, or even just anyone involved with it. Like I don't like the show, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't get made or anything like that. So,
nor is it at all a direct connection to whether or not Wheel of Time is getting picked up. It's not like they said we have $100,000 for fantasy budgets, and Lord of the Rings is taking up $90,000. So sorry, we have nothing left. I mean, they really are separate entities, and they can't. They're doing what they're doing with Rings of Power, but that really doesn't have any bearing on Wheel of Time. I mean, I'm sure somebody somewhere is like, we've got our fantasy show, it's fine, but also. It really doesn't. So, I mean...
the bean counters are gone. You need more money in the bank, so...
Yeah.
Cut the things that don't make you enough.
Yeah.
Here's the spec.
That you're legally able to cut.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. Just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah. And then as Laura's put in chat, Raimi also posted kind of like a goodbye the next day as well, which... That one really got me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw that.
I am so sorry. I thought my mute was on. I apologize.
I was like, a separate audio. I can just edit that out later. It's fine.
Yes, please do edit that out.
Making Rob's job harder.
It's just the special live effects for Laura who's listening.
Bless you, Laura.
Direct apologies to Laura. I'm so sorry.
Now I feel like I need to leave it in. So, but yeah, Raimi posting the next day kind of like that really got me.
Yeah.
Because
and I have to say that also feels like no, they are not writing season 4, or even if they started it. See, this is the other thing too. I mean, I've been questioning all along whether or not they had a little bit of a bridge, either to break the season for season 4, or maybe write episodes 1 and 2, because that would be the first batch they would start filming. And if so it's possible that the writers were actually, kept on a little bit in whatever ways, like at least for just writers' room stuff. There's things you can do that are not a full season contract. And so it's also possible that then that went the way of the, like they were like, we're officially closing that down. We're not going to continue with episodes 3 and 4 if we did write 1 and 2 or whatever it might be. But it did feel like there was some piece of information or news that was given to EP's writers that week. And yet, I've noticed this week what we have is Rafe really doing the Emmy push. And so Emmy voting is now over, so we are no longer able to vote. But those of us who could aren't going to tell you what we voted for, but you can guess in terms of nominations. But Emmy voting is over, and so now we're just waiting until the 17th to get announcements of who actually got nominations.
Then those nominees get picked from a panel of judges? Or
no, so the nominees
votes again.
Everyone votes again.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So it's like a bracket situation, kind of. Yeah, I mean, the first round of voting is Sports analogies
just so
in me
broad.
now.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, when you're voting in the first round, depending on the category, you can vote for up to 4, 5, 6, 7. Mm-hmm. 7 different shows in each category, depending. I mean, the categories have different numbers. And so it's really hard and overwhelming in that first round because you're given a list. They actually have them like listed by alphabet, so you can jump to the show you want. You can click the letter you want and jump to the show, because like things come up and it's like, there's 7 different W shows, Wheel of Time included, and then there's, all the S shows, the Severance and everything. And so, like, you just have, like, it's such a large number, a large pool that you're voting. It's anybody who chose to submit, and then you're voting within that pool.
Well, Robert Strange's manager, well, not his direct manager, but, like, one of his manager's assistant, when I was arranging to have Robert join us on the rewatch, they were like, oh, can we, like, reach out about something? And I was like, of course, yeah, we'll see if we can help you. And it was like, Robert's up for getting a nomination. Obviously, we don't know yet. If you could help push, that would be great. Obviously, you guys can't vote, but if you could share things. And we were like, yeah, we'll do that. And they were like, the assistant who sent this email to me was like, here's the list of the people in the category. Fucking miles long. I was like, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't need to know who else is in the list. That doesn't affect me. I can't vote for anyone in it type thing. Right. I was just like, everyone push Robert. But yeah, it's like enormous. It's like, okay. Anyone with that stipend to put it in has, gone and done it. It felt like, Which why not? And if you're not in it, you can't win it. So
right. And it's it's exactly, you got to put yourself out there, and it's getting the nomination is really the hurdle. Like if you get a nomination, that's awesome, because then you're in the next. Then you're always going to be and forever Emmy nominated, and you're also like now you're just shining among 5. So you get seen.
You get more press.
And when people get asked, when everyone who gets asked to vote again they go, okay, well, I don't know 3 of these 5, so I'll go check out them.
Yeah, and you are encouraged at that point, like for categories you're voting for, to like, to actually at that point do your due diligence. It's interesting because in the first round of categories, obviously people haven't seen 100 shows. Even those of us who are trying to see 100 shows, like you haven't seen everything. And so you are, that's why they let you vote for 5, because you're kind of voting for your 5 favorite, but it might be the only 5 you watch, or whatever. And then there's only one category where they actually require you to watch something before you vote for it. And it's because it's a weird category that isn't, it's not ranked. It's do they deserve an Emmy? Yes or no. And it's the TV scripted TV special kind of thing. So like SNL 50 was on there, and it was late night stuff. It was like it was SNL 50 celebration, and John Oliver and the whatever the show is with the woman that comes on after Colbert, I think. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, anyway, after midnight is what it's called.
And that's just a yes, no.
It's just yes, no.
After midnight. Oh, you mean, oh God, it's a comedian, and they've actually stopped making it now as well, which is really stupid because I love watching the clips, and she's a brilliant comedian.
She's hilarious.
Damn name now, which kills me.
She's
so
on the
funny.
tip of my tongue. Yeah.
I gotta look it up. I follow her on Instagram. Yeah. Like I would.
She's great. She's great. But they require They require you to watch all of those before you can vote, that's kind of good. But it's a small category.
How do they hold you accountable to that, though?
So even if you've seen the shows before, it doesn't matter. Like I watch John Oliver religiously, and I'd seen all the SNL specials. But you have to click through to a special page per, like, that's for you. Like it's the Jennifer's page to see if I've watched them, and you have to actually like click them and watch them before you can vote. I mean, it's like at that point it's not YouTube, but it's like a YouTube link, so you can obviously like click play and then walk around your house and not actually watch it, and but which obviously people do. But
definitely bad faith.
I mean, you can also watch it on two times speed, which is what I did. I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna watch them all, but I'm gonna put them on 2 times speed.
Yeah, definitely. Good shout.
Which John Oliver is still very slow speaker, even at 2 times speed. Just saying.
Oh, really? Okay.
I love John Oliver. Well, not slow, just.
Taylor Tomlinson.
Yes, that's her name. Yeah,
she's fucking brilliant.
She's love her.
I adore the shit out of that woman.
Yeah,
she's so funny.
Yeah.
Like when do we find out? This is, I feel like the 17th. 17th.
It's right after Wotcon, right?
The day after Wotcon.
The day after Wotcon. Yeah. So it's the Monday of Wotcon they get announced?
Mm-hmm. You'll still be there, right?
I'll still be there.
Yeah, we'll be
guys. Yeah, you'll be gone.
Yeah, we'll touch base.
Yeah, special recording on that Monday to squee over the fact that
we'll still be around. I'll still be in Michigan.
Yeah, I'll be on my way to Nashville. So
nice,
but that's a nice segue. Shall we?
Yes, it is. Let's talk about Wotcon.
So it is the 4th Wotcon, and we will all be there.
And we've all been there for everyone.
We have been there for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're making cocktails, and we're bringing merch. And
speaking of cocktails, I'm planning on the next day or two putting out a poll to kind of see what cocktails people want me to bring, so I can pre-batch make them. I'm debating if I want to do anything with an egg white, because then I would have to shake every single one.
No,
it's too hard.
Don't do you can just pour.
Yeah. So
just,
make it easy on yourself.
So I got to go through and figure out that. So I'll be posting that soon.
And they have to follow us on social media.
Yes.
To get a drink.
In order to do that poll. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, to vote, but then to get a drink, they have to be like,
drink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. Media. Yes. There's a fee.
Yeah.
To get a drink.
That's the cost.
Yes.
You want a cocktail from Meg? You have to follow us on social media.
Yes. And you can show us the follow, and then you
show me. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And give us a 5-star review on Apple.
No.
If you want a second cocktail, then you go to the podcast app of your choice.
You want a generous
rate us 5 stars. Yeah.
Oh, Rob, you're so smart. I'm just like, here, just take free cocktails. La la la.
And if you want a third cocktail, then you buy one of our new fancy T-shirts.
Ooh, I love it.
Nice.
I love it.
There we go. I'm really just making this up as we go now. But yeah, we've joked multiple times about merchandise. We were like, that should be a T-shirt. We should do this. And then I was sat I've got a long list of things I need to do before I go away. And for some reason, as I am one to do, I'm sure it's some condition of some kind, I'm like, oh, that's a big to-do list. I should do some of that. Won't do that. I decided to finally work on the merchandise that we keep talking about having. So we have 3 designs now that I've made literally in the last 24 hours. I feel like. I started off with Meg's one. The saying was, if you mix it, Meg will drink. And so we had I had a cocktail in just a barrier. I wasn't sure on the text and stuff, was I? And I was like, I'm not sure about this. But then I wanted to make one for Jen. about crazy theories and Bigfooting, because that was,
Yeah.
what we
Which
decided.
shout out to J123 for remembering what we actually called it.
Right, because we couldn't
Yes.
remember what we said for
Yes.
it when I
was like,
am
what is-
going off on a bender of strange ideas.
Yes.
And as I was searching for different types of Bigfoot shapes and things like that, there was like this silhouette where it was like the Bigfoot walking through very large over a small forest area, was like the reverse silhouette type thing. There's the Bigfoot was a negative space, and I mixed that because I like the way we use a few different colors in our logo, and I mixed that with like that retro sunset thing, and then I just tinkered until I found text that I like, and I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then the one I made for Meg that I was like, I'm not sold on this yet. I was like, I'm gonna remake, and then I was inspired by the fact you're in Hawaii, and so I got like a tropical palm tree and a cocktail, and made it in the same theme, and then. We need to find one for me, and we went through multiple things, like what could it be, and what did you suggest? Some of these are great.
Megan.
Megan?
Yes.
Because I say that a lot, and in fact, I think you actually, what did you write that I replied Megan to, or did you just say Megan?
It was, I
remember.
don't think you should say it on the podcast. I remember it being something where I was like, don't say that.
No, it's fine. Raga's
remember.
hot.
Oh, Raga's hot. That's right. It was
I was
Raga's
like,
hot. That's right.
Megan, but yes.
You could say that.
That's
but
not
there were
bad.
The Megan one we need though. We need Rob's incredulous face, like your indignant
Yes.
face. Yes, like which is a
needs to be
sticker of
like
your
a-
face.
Yeah, that needs to be
Yeah.
just like we'll make
Megan.
that into a sticker or something, so yeah.
Yes.
But there were multiple things like, I know a guy. I was chatting with Taylor/Guy. It's
Maybe we should
Asmodean. Thane is, yeah.
I can't. I am saying this only because I would have to make it for myself as well. But we could just have one that says name dropper.
Name dropper.
But I'd need to wear it as well.
Yeah. And then, like, the no name dropper. It could be Meg's version.
Hey, I've
Yes.
met Nikhil now in real life, so
Yes, you have.
And I haven't. So kudos to you. So,
Yes.
yeah, folks, we had such a good time recording with Nikhil last time that when Meg was going to be in LA with Jen before she went on her cruise, we were like, some conversation about like, oh, you should hang out or something. I think, was it like post-show this happened or something?
Yeah, it was at the end of the show. We were just talking, and he was like, Meg was like, I'm going to be in LA next week. And we realized he and I don't live that far away from each other. And so we were like, we should get together. And he's like, yeah, when Meg comes. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And we did.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
You were with for lunch, and I was
It was
just
so
like,
fun.
that
We could
I
have
was.
talked for another 3 hours. We were
oh,
just
we
like
totally could. We'd
nonstop.
like, your food took forever to come, Jen.
It did. It was really slow that day.
I mean, I obviously I was the one who reached out to Nikhil about joining on the podcast. So Meg was just like, hey, like maybe you could liaise this or whatever. And I was like, I'll just put you guys in the chat. So I put Meg, myself, and Nikhil in a group chat. And then I got to watch the two of them plan lunch. And I was just there like, that doesn't include me. So
I know.
yeah.
We should have FaceTimed you while we were there, although it was middle of the night for you, I think.
yeah.
It was the middle of the night for me, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had a wonderful time. I love that. So
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I
but
won't name drop. I won't name drop and say that I'm planning on lunch with him and my other composer friend Dara in August.
I love that.
You won't, but you
That's
did.
awesome.
So okay.
I did just say, because I'm going to drop Dara's name. So Dara Taylor is a friend of mine. She's an amazing, amazing composer as well. I adore her. She composed the score for my show, Little Ellen. And I watched last night the first 2 episodes of Ironheart, the new Marvel show. I'm like watching Ironheart, credits go by because I always watch the credits because I'm in the industry and I always watch the credits. And I respect that. And up it pops composer, composed by Dara Taylor. And I was like, what the hell? So Nikhil and I had just said, like, let's get together for lunch with Dara. And so I texted her and I was like, well, are your ears doubly burning? Because, clearly I'm supposed to get together with her. So anyway,
Perfect. I love
she's
that.
nice balls. Yeah.
I do love that. I'm excited to watch Dune 3 and watch the credits because I know someone who's working on that.
Nice.
And it's kind of like quiet at the moment, which is why I'll tell you guys afterwards. But yeah. And I'm just like, I literally said to them, I was like, I am now excited to go see this movie just so I could watch the credits scroll by and see your name there. And they were like, dude, that's so kind. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
But we did settle, going back to the t-shirts, we did settle on I'm going to die on this hill. Because I was like, the Paddon Thane thing, I'm like, I am dying on this hill, I will be there. We've all done that a little bit. I'm the main one. So
for sure. For sure.
But Perrin had been mentioned being my favorite character, and so I was like, I'll try and find something. And I found a wolf howling at a moon on like top of the mountainside type thing. So I just put a bigger moon in it, and that t-shirt is titled "That's a Hill I'd Die On."
I love it.
So
I love it.
So, and we will be modeling these shirts at Wotcon, and you'll be able to purchase one if you wanted a third cocktail from Megan.
Yay! Does it mean I have to buy one?
I'm totally going to be keeping track of how many I've given anyone. So,
hey, you are a spreadsheet queen. You will be keeping track of it.
Tally marks. Check.
Yeah, a little tally mark. There we go. Yeah. No, I'm gonna get those ordered, and they will be. I'm gonna get them sent to Megs, and then Meg can bring them down. So
yep,
it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm excited for Wotcon. Like,
me too.
Yes.
Like,
Whip. Never mind.
Do we want to talk about the panels we're on too? Also, once we're.
I don't know because I don't think panels are announced yet.
They are. They are. They talked about them on.
So I was really busy this week watching Two Little Girls.
I'm
so
sorry.
I didn't catch anything that was
for a second,
on.
I thought that was a television show. I was just like, interesting title for a television show.
Two Little Girls. It could have been a television show. It was that entertaining. It was.
Oh God! I do need a debrief of the entire week from you. So.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. Okay, then we can say what panels we're on.
Yeah. So go ahead, Jen.
Megan and I'm on the Building an Outrigger panel again this year, which was such a delight last year. And we wrote last year. It's a different group of people this year. It's with some people.
With some people.
I told you my brain. I don't know.
I'm pulling up my Discord right now.
I'm 100%.
I was going to be honest, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure none of the writers are going. Someone would have told me. No. Being all shady, I was just like, they're not going to like randomly have Rami turn up or something like that. I mean, I would.
No. I'm being an asshole who doesn't remember who's on her panel, is what it is.
If Rami turned up, I would like hug her and then smack her. I'd be like, what's it, Astrid and Toothless, Astrid and Hiccup. I'd be like, smack for not telling me you're going to be here, and then a hug for actually being here type thing.
Exactly. I'm let's see who's on the panel. It is I was just looking at it this morning. Meg, wait, did they list who's going to be on the panels and the things that they
if
they
you
posted
go
yet?
to the thread in Discord and you click on the little right arrow at the top, then it says everyone that's who's in that thread.
Yeah, except it says 3 others, and I can't make it work.
There are other people on the panel with Jen Sedai.
At the top, it says the name of the thread. Then at the right of that name, it has an arrow. You click on the arrow.
There's no arrow.
Threads where?
On Discord.
So, in Discord.
Oh, never mind. I can see it.
There's a lot of Discords out there, ladies. Like, what do you mean?
It's Tom from Talk Around Riyadh.
It's Tom from Talk Around Riyadh.
It's Delusions. It's Matt. It's James. It's me. And then, Rebecca's on the Discord, but only because she runs the panels.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's an interesting.
It's going to be great.
What outrigger did you make last year?
Last year we did an outrigger about Egianan, and everybody wanted one with Egianan and Baal Domin. We were all so excited about Baal Domin. I don't know why we were, but we were. So we wanted to write something about them, and so we wrote, full spoilers, everybody. David, if you are listening, go away. We wrote a story that picked up after the end of the last book, after Memory of Light, where Egianan, who at that time was Egwene's warder, everyone. And it was she had left a letter that Egianan got and read. So it's like, if you're reading this, I died, basically. And it was like, but there's some things going on in the tower. Elida knows some things. We have to recover her from the Shanshan. And that was sort of the idea of the story. And so Matt, who writes novels, wrote like a bunch of prose. And then I wrote the letter as if it was like dialogue coming from Egwene. And then Kate Redding read it out loud into the panel, which was amazing. And so she read it like it was the beginning of the story. And then you ask the audience to give us new ideas, and we kind of write the rest of the story based on that. It was really fun. Yeah, it was super fun.
So I have a choice between watching that and then watching Meg do Whose Thread Is It Anyway?
No, because I'm in Whose Thread Is It Anyway, too. They have to, I hope they're at different times. I think they're at different times.
Jen's supposed to be on that one, too. Might need to contact Rebecca if that's...
Oh, no, I was looking at the wrong... Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong list. Okay.
I was like, oh.
I was like, no,
Sorry.
but... Yeah. Outrigger is Saturday.
Right,
Whose Thread Is It is Friday. And then right after... So, Whose Thread Is It Anyway is the improv panel, and Megan and I are both doing it.
As well as Alyssa from One Power Ballads, Jansen Lashley Haynes, Kevin, Critter, Tom from Dragonmount, and I don't know, I think Wolfie's just running it, right? Or hosting it.
Well, Wolf Brothers, he's listed on the...
Yeah.
So I have the panel listing.
Oh, you
do? Rob. That would have been a lot easier than embarrassing me and making me look like the jerk who doesn't know who's on her panel with her.
Okay, I looked this up after you found them, and I was just like, where are you looking? Like, you keep saying thread in a Discord. Do you mean thread in the channel? Like
No, because we have a group chat for each of these things in Discord. Yeah.
But yeah, I actually... perk of helping out at the con, you get to see stuff a little earlier, but these things have been out, so I don't mind sharing this, obviously. But yeah, I have the panel sessions of, like, who's on what. So... Okay, yeah, so that's...
Well, Megan goes straight from Whose Thread Is It Anyway to another phenomenal panel known as the Malkyrie Meme-Off.
It's the great Malkyrie Meme-Off.
The great... Go! Yes, the great Malkyrie Meme-Off, of course.
Yeah, of course. Meg is returning with... with Joe from Talk Around Yard.
Team Egg Meme for the win!
Yes. Returning champions. And they will be up against Beth Roberts and Tom DeSimone. So Tom's also back-to-back panels as well. So okay,
yeah, me and Tom are gonna be buddies.
Yeah, although you'll be buddies in one and then like enemies in the next.
Yes.
So and you don't need to see the other things that are on at that point because there's Lornbow Score. What are they? Which is talking about taking characters' name out of a hat and then debating their morality. Or writing a narration workshop. So clearly you just want to come to the meme folks.
Yes, for sure.
So much fun.
I've got to be honest, I was a tiny bit disappointed. It's only because Sharon's getting the main stage the whole time. I was a tiny bit disappointed that, like, last year, Guy Roberts was doing his panel in the next room to the meme. And we were really loud the whole time.
Yes.
And I was like, I want to do that again to one of the special guests, and there's no special guests.
Especially on the very last tiebreaker meme, the room erupted.
Oh, it did, didn't it? It was so good.
It was really good.
I need to go back and just watch that panel, man. It was
such a good panel. It was so good. And Megan is doing a third panel.
Meg, you're on 3 panels. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. First thing Saturday morning as well. You're on the What Fantasy Draft. With Wolf Brother, I assume, is running it. Adam Bomb, Andrew Sedai, and Morgan from Podcast of the Dragon.
It'd be so fun.
Wow.
Which Androl and I went against each other during the Better Dragon debate last year. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And but that's on during the Build and Outrigger section.
Uh-oh.
So I got to pick between you two.
Oh, no.
Wait, we're on at the same time?
Yes.
Womp womp. I'm sorry I can't come to your panel, Maggie.
I'm sorry I can't come to your panel.
Oh, Rob, you don't have to choose between us. That's too hard.
I mean, the options are go hang out with Sharon in costumes, and it's the first time anyone will do that, so I imagine it'll be pretty busy straight off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
Or go get my Wheel of Time personality test from Nablus, which, you know, I loved
that.
I did that to know more shit about myself like that. I've done enough.
I did that 2 years ago, and it was my favorite panel of the whole year. I know, it's crazy, but it was really fun and really good. I really loved it.
I've done a lot of those with work. I don't need to. I'm not sure I need to do this. But after that, then you got What Ones, Resistance and Other Stories, The Flame of Hope, which is discussing moments from the books from the series. Where Hope has been.
Are these all posted on Wotcon.com? Because
Nope.
That's where I'm looking to.
I don't think they're updated. I just happen to have a copy of the schedule in front of me. Like, I got the booklet thing they give out that has all the information. I have the test on.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's why I said I wasn't sure if we could talk about it or not, because I didn't know if they had actually been announced.
Yeah, they're out enough, I think.
Okay. I mean, I have a schedule in the volunteer schedule as well. So if you're volunteering, you have the schedule.
Exactly. Like, there's enough places where it's kind of put out there that, it's in a week and a half.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I think at this stage, like, it's a bit silly that we can't.
Chop, people.
Yeah.
Chop, chop.
Sharon, if anyone's curious, Sharon Gillan will be on the main stage. That's the fourth panel. She'll be on the main stage for all 3 panel sessions on the Saturday. The 4 costumes will be up, I assume, behind barriers. And Sharon will be just there to talk and take questions and things like that.
So cool.
We can't touch them?
No, you can't touch them.
No. Porcupine
As
quills.
someone who almost stepped on one in Prague, trust me, it's a good idea they're behind barriers. Because the dress on, like, the dress on Surov's outfit from season 2, like, there's so much that we're going like, oh, up to it, and then suddenly we're like, oh shit, we've almost stepped on the whole dress as it's
such a long
draped out on the floor.
fabric, yeah.
Do we know what Sharon's bringing?
Yes.
Do we know which one she's bringing? Are they the ones I saw here?
I can't remember what you saw here. So she confirmed it again when she joined me on the watch party. She's bringing Savannah's porcupine outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was the one I saw here.
Yep. Elida's Amelin outfit, where she looks like, like the whole mine sun god moment type thing, which is just amazing. Lanthir's white and black dress combo.
Yep.
And then
Maureen's with the armor.
Maureen's with the armor. Yes, that was it.
Yeah, those are the ones. Those are the 4 that were on the for your consideration.
Okay, there we go.
Panel here. Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, that's what Amazon was going to ship out. They were here. They were here at the Amazon thing, and then they were at Sony for a little while.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. They're beautiful. They're insane.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So it's going to be amazing. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hang out with Sharon and record. Sharon will be joining us next time we record. I did my setup on the microphones and things today because I have a different laptop to bring this year. So that's going to be, we're going to have better microphones. Well, not better microphones, but it's going to be easier to use them this time, which should be helpful. But yeah, probably Sunday I think we're going to do that, aren't we? Because Sharon gets in on Thursday and will be too tired to join us Friday night for the party. Mm-hmm. So,
what time is she getting in on Thursday?
Late, she said.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, she's like, Friday, I'm not sure if I'll be, compos mentis, to actually like do a podcast. So we're gonna steal her on Sunday. I need to ask her about that. But yeah, I'm excited to have Sharon.
Oh, I really got to think about that cocktail. I haven't thought about it. Ooh, okay.
Gin.
What did I say?
Forward.
It was a gin and tonic, and then I got to tweak it somehow. So, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like the Kyrian and G&T would be up her alley, but I don't want to redo something, so I gotta think it through.
Oh,
so,
all right.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I think you can do something.
Something with sharp edges, like scissors. I don't know. Sorry, I'm with costume.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't mean like sharp edges that will cut your mouth. I just mean like a sharp taste. Like grapefruit. Ooh, do something like a paloma.
But it's a G&T, and a paloma
It doesn't have to be a
tequila.
G&T. You just do something with gin.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't ask me anything about cocktails. I'm out. Bye.
Oh god. Yeah, no. Well, just do something with gin. Gives you more flexibility there.
Okay.
So, what I think we should do though, okay, because Sharon, if you didn't watch the rewatch, people, you need to go and watch Sharon appear on the rewatch.
I do need to do that.
Which was great. Spoiler alert: we didn't talk about the episode.
Hilarious.
So Sharon joined, and she was in Prague. I thought she was here in the UK, so she joined at 10 p.m. at night her time, and she had to get up for work the next day. So I was like, my God, you champion. She's like, I didn't think when I asked you the UK time, I forgot that it's a different time here. And I was like, I was committed. So I was like, I'm going to be here. I was like, well, if you need to go early, it's like, no, I'll stay the whole time. I was like, oh my God, you're a champion. But yeah, like, obviously, so the timer lines up so people can watch back with us. We don't skip the recaps or anything like that. So I'm not going to ask her about the recap
Right.
Because that's pointless.
Right.
And she's watching the episode too. She's set up so she can play. So I just asked her a couple questions, and then it became basically an interview. I think twice I was like, so I know we are supposed to be talking about the episode that's playing right now, that hopefully everyone at home is also watching along with us. So I wanted to ask you about this costume that's just appeared on screen now. And it just carried on being an interview. Honestly, I mean, she talked about some really fun things. Do you know Sony has asked her to pick 20 costumes to keep, and then they will do whatever they do with costumes after a show gets done?
So she has to choose which 20 she wants to keep.
Which
seems really generous and amazing, but also like how many does that mean they're just destroying things?
Yeah. I mean, like think of how many that she made for just episode 4. For between Rand and Moraine. Think how many different costumes they two had.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. Nothing. I'm not trying to go dark. I'm just the fact that Sony is cataloging those things and getting rid of things is also not a good sign.
Yeah. Although there was a fun thing. She's like, I'm trying to convince them that we should take them all on tour and then they can make money off them.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was just like, yes. And if they want to auction them off, I'm pretty sure the fans would be fucking obsessed and go bankrupt buying them.
Yep.
I said it a little more politely in the live stream. But yes. So, we're going to try and be like, how can we help you convince them to do that, Sharon? And go on tour. Because they're all just sitting in Prague. I'm like,
yeah.
I actually said to him, like, I think I know a guy who puts together events in Prague, And
I'm going way more nefarious, which is like, what? The warehouse burned down after we got them all out. What? What?
I mean,
I'm not recommending arson, people.
I used to know people who knew people. Well, they could probably make that happen. I don't know those people anymore, but I know people who still know those people. So, yeah, maybe not the arson part, but
it's just it is heartbreaking that to see.
It sucks, isn't it? Yeah,
have to but then again, I mean that means all the costumes. So that's like every Aiel in Cold Rock's Hold, that's barely on screen for 2 seconds. I mean, of course, all of those things they're going to repurpose stuff, and
yeah,
of course that makes sense. And you can't keep it all forever. But also, why don't they just drop a couple down in San Diego next month at Comic-Con? There's always some gorgeous costumes there, but it's always for stuff they're promoting.
Honestly, they could put them up in charity auctions, and the bids would just be wild. Even the simple outfits.
Yeah,
give you legitimate Aiel outfit this size from this episode, blah blah, and people would bid hundreds, if not thousands, on it.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah.
So that's. I'm excited to talk to Sharon. She was wonderful, and I'm excited for her to hang out with everyone and. Probably get a little drunk on cocktails. I feel like she's a partier. I get that vibe.
I hope so. Great. Oh, I can just now. I want to see Kate Redding and Sharon Gillam throw down. Just hang out. I love it. I'm ready.
That would be something. That would be indeed. So, but we do need. I think all three of us need to have a hat of some kind when we record with Sharon, because a whole discussion around.
Oh, I'm bringing my Marine hat. I'm bringing my Marine hat.
Meg. What hat are you going to bring? She wore a hat on the recording. I'm just saying on the.
She does. She always has a hat on.
She always has a hat on. She's like my big fan.
I could bring my bowler. I have a really.
Troy
cool
has a top hat that he wore for a murder mystery party.
Perfect.
There you go.
Remind me, Jen, to pack it.
She likes hats. She's a thing. She's like, I like putting things on heads. So
well, if I mean, I almost don't want to bring my bowler home because it's my Marine hat is very packable and I have to get on a plane and it's Spirit Airlines. So there's no space. But I can wear the bowler.
You bought it because it was the Marine hat.
I did.
Yeah, wear the Marine hat. Exactly. She'll appreciate that. I'm gonna wear my Savannah hat. So
excellent. Yeah. Well, we'll kind of match because mine looks a little like yours, but a lot smaller.
Yeah. Well, mine's also
just be the weird kid wearing a top hat. So,
and actually, I wanted to wear it on the podcast, but it doesn't go over my headphones.
Yeah, this one doesn't go over my headphones either. I don't know. Well, actually, now we need to think of a hat for Meg that fits. Actually, rather than just have her in a top hat. What can we? Put?
I mean, I have sun hats.
Do you have any berets?
No.
Sharon is a fan of berets.
I was gonna say she's always in a beret.
Mm-hmm.
I have a riding helmet.
Only if it's one of our old school velvet ones. I still have my old velvet one with no
it's the
safety stuff
ugly,
at all.
like,
No, don't wear
plastic
that.
ones.
Yeah, don't
You
wear the
wear hats
plastic
all the
ones.
time. Megan, you have a cute little winter beret hat that you wear in the winter that's adorable. I have pictures of you in it. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, the one that Mom and Dad got me from New Zealand, I think.
No.
No? Okay.
The
Like
possum one?
It's like orangish red.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that was your... They didn't bring me that one. They brought me a regular one. I like that one. Anyway, yeah, wear that.
Yeah, wear that.
Because they knew
Yeah.
I liked the slouchy hipster ones. So
Yes, wear that.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Wait, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because then, like, you're doing the tribute to Moraine, I'm doing the tribute to Savannah, and you're doing the tribute to Sharon.
Sharon, yeah.
You know? And we'll start it, like, in honor of you today, we are recording all wearing hats, which we never do.
Yes.
Because you love hats. You know?
Yes.
Or headwear of some kind.
Yes.
So...
It's perfection. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
FYI, my internet's kind of shitty, so if I'm not responding, that's why. So
Yeah, you've been a little bit in and out. We've seen it.
It's fine. You're coming and going. So, but yeah. So I fly. Oh God! At this point, I will be. I think I will be waiting for my. When do I land? I will be on my way to Chicago in 7 days.
yay!
Amazing.
And Jen, you will be here in Michigan in 8 days now? 9 days?
Yep.
8.
8 days. Next Tuesday.
Time has
Amazing.
been really strange the last 36 hours for me. So I don't know
bet.
what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So in 8 days, we will all be in the same time zone.
Yay!
In 7 days, we'll only be 3 hours apart.
And 12 hours ago, 2 of us were in the same time zone. Not 12 hours ago. You left before that. 15
Earlier
hours
today.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited to hang out and party. So yeah, make sure you come and join us for that, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. This was
Well,
just like
my Wada
I just want to remind
positivity
you, I was just
maybe
going to say,
is
if
my
you can't
dream.
make it to... Oh, we do need to hear your dream.
Oh, we do need a dream.
to
This
hear
is
your
true.
dream.
Yes.
I was just going to say, if you
Go,
can't make it to Wotcon, there are still virtual tickets. You can always come and join us virtually at Wotcon as well. Just wanted to say that because it's so fun.
Yeah. The Sharon recording may not be live to patrons.
Because we might not be able to swing that.
Because I might not be able to work because of how I have to use a different system to record with 3 microphones. Because I only had 2 last year, which is how it worked out and blah blah. But I've got a different laptop this year, so I can use 3. But that means I can't stream it to StreamYard or to Riverside because it's not going to pick up 3 microphones on one account and blah blah. So that might not be live to patrons, but it will be up first to patrons. So.
Okay.
Yes. Meg, you had a crazy dream. Tell us.
Yes.
And tell us about your positivity dream.
Well, this is the crazy dream is kind of Wada positivity because it ends on a high note for the Watt fandom.
Perfect.
And it's hilarious.
Okay.
So I think I had, one, I was drinking a lot on the cruise. 2, every time.
Shocked. Thank God I was sitting down.
I didn't say it.
God. You can't drop shit like that on me, Meg, when I'm not standing. You know, like, you gotta.
I didn't say it.
Heartbeat. Okay, right. I'm ready. Deep breaths. Woosa. Okay. Come on.
Okay. So that was probably a factor, as well as every time. So there were a couple nights we were docked overnight, and I had great sleep then. But anytime we were traveling between islands and there was any sort of bumping, I was 100% convinced the boat was going to tip over and we were all going to die. So, anyway, so
it's not very positive so far, I gotta be honest, folks.
So I think they just contributed to the weird psychedelic dream. Okay, so anyway, and I wrote it down because it was so nuts and I didn't want to forget anything. Okay, so I had a dream that I was adopted sisters with Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know. We're adopted sisters. And then so for some reason, I started living with her and Tom Cruise was still there. Like they were still married or still living together or something.
Wait, they were married?
Co-parenting? Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, while I was living with them, the Watt cast and crew came over to drop the news that Sony wasn't shopping it around. So I then
the lack of positivity. Just
here it comes. Then I grab Rafe and I take him into, and it's weird, Jay, because it's the same porch at Mom and Dad's house. But anyway, So I take Rafe to the porch where Tom and Nicole are sitting. and he and I start pitching Watt to Tom and Nicole for them to pick it up on their production company. Anyway, Nicole Kidman seemed really into it, so I was feeling positive about it at the end.
And if anybody can make something happen, it's Tom Cruise. So
I mean, the guy saved
Demon Dread. Demon Dread. Tom Cruise's Demon Dread. Do we like this? He would have been more
of a male to me, but
Sammy 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, if they, no, Demon Dread. I like it.
Anyway,
no, because the 8th Forsaken is Asmodean.
It's not.
I'm dying on the hill. It's hot guy. Honestly, next time I see Rafe, I'm be like, Rafe, you gotta tell me now. You know, I like show cancelled or not. Like, you need to tell me. I need to know.
Yes.
Like, in fact, if the show is cancelled and not beginning, like it is properly done, I'm still not giving up the movement. But I especially need to know in that case. Yes. Like, you need to put a post out. You need to get Clint to like do a video and be like, hey, so I was supposed to be this guy. Yeah. So, but no, I like that. That's fun. Yeah. If anyone can make, something appear out of nowhere, Tom Cruise is probably on that
Nicole
list.
Kidman. Mm-hmm.
And Nicole Kidman. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I love
my
it.
one of positivity.
Wheel of Time produced by Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. What would that look like? That would be the waters would be running everywhere all the time.
Who's Nicole Kidman playing? Is she playing Cat Swan? I am still convinced because Cat Swan is not going to be in the show anyway, and I will die on that hill. But I'm wondering. I feel like there's something for her. Could she be Grendel? She's not Grendel. No.
I feel like she would have to be some sort of a villain. I don't know.
Yeah.
She could be a good Masana.
Or Sindane.
Sindane, yeah.
Sindane's a little girl.
Well, I mean, whatever. You can tweak it.
Besides, I don't want Natasha to come back as anything but Natasha.
Right.
Anyway. In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, like, how do you can't, sorry.
Natasha in braids with red ribbons. I don't know.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, someone out there must know Tom Cruise. 6 degrees of separation, all that sort of stuff.
I used to know Nicole Kidman's trainer, like trainer, like gym trainer.
So you were like 2 degrees away from Nicole Kidman. So,
So 3 from Tom Cruise then.
3 from Tom Cruise. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm only 2 degrees away from Tom Cruise.
There we are.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where yet, but I know I'm sure I'm only 2.
So, like, someone needs to hit up Tom Cruise or, who else has got loads of money and likes making stuff?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. That's it. Yeah. Loads of people have lots of money, but do they like making TV shows? No. Or just making movies and such, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Nicole Kidman has been doing a lot of EP stuff.
Yeah, she's EPing into the TV, actually. Like, and it's nice to see her in the TV world as well. After, yeah. All right.
See?
So, yeah.
I like it.
Coming up with some good thoughts up here in the middle of the night.
It's awesome. It's a good dream. I like it. It's a good. And there we are, folks. Meg had a one of positivity. I think that's like the first time?
First one.
Yes.
35 episodes in, she finally had one.
In my sleep. In my drunken stupor.
She's got to be a little subconscious, a little unconscious.
A little terrified by the rocking of the boat. Like, if you're that, do you like sailing? I have to ask this now, Meg. Like,
I grew up on a lake.
I think it was because I was in an interior room instead of a balcony.
You're turning into mom.
I am turning into mom. And I feel like if I were in a balcony, I'm like, okay, I can just go out the window if the boat tips over and swim and I'll be fine. If I'm in an interior room, the water's going to come in and crush me and like make me drown and I will horrific death.
I mean, all right, let's not get too negative here, but let's say you have a balcony room. If the boat tips over onto your side, you're under the boat.
I was on the aft though. I was at the back.
If the boat tips the other way, you're on top of the boat and thus can't get out onto the water.
Right.
But you can get out on top of the boat and then...
Yeah, but then you can't jump into the water. You'll break
you can't jump in the water. Like
I'll just walk along the boat.
You're walking in a sinking boat scenario? I'm running. And I can't walk. I'm still running. So
I thought that I took Megan to
adrenaline fixes my ankle,
I highly recommend anyone who's enjoying this conversation go watch the original Poseidon Adventure from the 70s.
Oh my God, the original one? Oh,
the original
that one.
Which I thought I had taken Megan to see. I was like, no wonder. I think I did this to you when you were a kid.
It's Titanic. I saw Titanic probably like 5 times in the theater, and
when you were
I can't watch it anymore because
in the theater? It's 3.5 hours long. How have you watched that 5 times?
It was a big deal to keep going back to watch it back in 99 or whatever it was. Or 97, I think.
It was Barbenheimer before there was Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer, this is fair. So, okay. Yep. Wow. Folks, thank you for hanging out on our Off the Rails episode.
We are so off the rails. It definitely has to be the name.
The name of it, yeah. So, but this was kind of like, we didn't plan anything for this. This was just like, we'll talk whatever and just have fun and hang out, At some point we need to do like a live Q&A AMA type thing,
Oh yeah, we should do that for sure.
Definitely do one of those. But yeah. Oh, I have more news, folks.
Excellent.
I have more news. So if you let's talk MercuryCon firstly. If you are wanting to come to MercuryCon, we're not cancelling MercuryCon. MercuryCon will not go away, even if the TV show doesn't come back. I've already booked next year in Prague, so like that's already it's already reserved and paid for. So like we have to do it. But we had plans for when we got to the end of the 8th or 10th season anyway. So like those plans have just moved forward, so it's not a problem. But MercuryCon, you've got 3 weeks left ish to get you. No, sorry, 5 weeks left ish to get your tickets. A little bit less by the time this episode drops. So if you want to come join us, please do that. Julia Howland will be hanging out with us. We've got a lot of fun things planned. So make sure you are there. Come enjoy Prague and experience everything. Obviously, if you can't make it for whatever reason, virtual tickets will still be an option. So you can come do that. Secondly, what a holiday! We have picked our dates and our charities. So we typically happen the first weekend of December. That has not changed, folks. So What a Holiday will be happening on We'll start December 6th, go through overnight 24 hours to December 7th. We are supporting the Prague Shakespeare Company again for Guy Roberts. We are supporting magicbreakfast.com, which is a UK-based charity that gives families that don't have, low-income families and families who just, for whatever reason, don't have access to enough funds or enough, position to be able to give kids proper breakfasts, to give children a proper start to the day by giving them breakfast. Rather than just like, here's a cereal bar or some, toast and water or whatever it might be type thing, like give them a proper hearty meal to start the day as breakfast should be. That is a charity that is near and dear to Sharon Gillam's heart. We've asked Sharon to give us a charity as a thank you for all of her filling the longing that she does for us. Yes, and we will also be throwing in some for Chicken Rescue UK for Juliet Howland. We're tripling it this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. So yeah, that starts on December 6th. So get your calendars in there. I have already decided there's a silver lining to the situation with the show, and that means contracts are done. It's a charity event. It runs for 24 hours. So there's no excuse for anyone who comes and does a show that they can't possibly reach out to someone from the show in some way, shape, or form and have loads of TV guests, and we can go out and have a lot of fun.
Yes.
So, yeah. Sorry, Meg. I've already earmarked asking Bjorn to come join Threefold Talk Brunch. So...
That's okay. I like those guys.
He's like eel. It's kind of a thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So those things are coming this year, folks. Those things won't end. So please come and join. If you want a ticket to MercuryCon, MercuryTalks.com/registration, and you can get them there. And What a Holiday will just be announced as and when it will be on the YouTube channel. But please like the podcast. Go rate and review those 5 stars. If you do a 5-star now and then show it to Megan at the convention next weekend, maybe she'll give you a cocktail, as you've seen. Mm-hmm. Follow us on social media. And you can find us on Blue Sky, which is threewheeling@threewheeling.marketingtalks.com. Or you can follow us on Instagram, which is 3.wheeling. I wasn't pausing. I did actually need to cough there. And our individual Blue Sky accounts are linked in the description. We are still trying to help the show and the Say What movement, so we do, like Meg and I are still posting things on Twitter.
Oh, can I say one more thing about the cocktails at Wotcon? I would recommend bringing a tumbler or something that is somewhat discreet, and then I can pour stuff into there so it doesn't look like I'm trying to usurp the bartenders at Wotcon. So
good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, good point, Meg. Can you bring back that tumbler from last year that I loved?
What's the problem? What? No problem.
It was
a math one.
Yeah, it was a math llama one or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, math's no problema. Yeah, or something.
No, math's no problem. Yeah, problema. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yes, I can do that.
I mean, it's not like I don't have one of my own, but I just really love that one. It was quite funny.
Yeah, it's
so. But yeah, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So, yeah. If you want to listen live, like Laura did, and someone I think is still listening live.
Mom joined in.
Hey, Mom! Is
fringe? Mom says fringe hat. Take a fringe hat.
Take a fringe hat?
Oh, the old that I got at Hall H at SDCC. Remember when they were handing out all of those?
Yes.
What is a fringe hat?
What they're called?
It was a swag hat. That's like
it's a fedora, right? Yeah, it was a fedora.
Oh, a fedora.
That I got for going to the fringe panel at Hall H. Yes, it's a fedora.
Wait, is it a fedora or is it a? No, I thought it was a Jewel and Sandar hat.
No, it's a.
no. It was a fedora.
Wait, when you say the fringe panel, do you mean
the spy hat.
The show fringe?
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, so I went to Hall H.
Yeah.
And then they gave out these hats at the Hall H fringe panel. And,
back when they spent money on television.
I might have gotten rid of that hat. I don't know where it is. I'll check the front closet. It might be in the front closet.
We'll have some. There will be hats, folks. I'm pretty sure I've got a fedora somewhere. I think I've still got my fedoras. I think I've got 2 fedoras. I think I've still got them. Anyway. Do all those good things, folks. Like I say, if you want to listen to us live and enjoy the full unedited chaos and put comments in chat that maybe we talk about, then just hop over to patreon.com and follow us there. Join. Come be a patron. And I think that's it. Ladies, I see you next weekend.
I'll see you next weekend.
See you next weekend.
No.
Next weekend.
Well,
it is
not this coming weekend, the weekend after, right?
Okay, sorry. Let me clarify. In the UK, when I say next weekend, that means
you actually mean next
week's weekend.
Yes.
Not the next weekend coming. That's this weekend,
right?
Yes.
So there's this weekend, which is the nearest weekend to right now.
Happy 4th of July.
Next weekend.
Yes.
And then there's the next weekend, which is the weekend that happens next week.
This sense.
This weekend, next weekend.
Is this our audiogram?
No, our audiogram will be something, I don't even fucking know.
About Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it would just be like, who would Tom Cruise play? Yeah, like who would Nicole Kidman be? Yeah, that would be our soundbite. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you at Wotcon. Bye!
Once again, we've proven that even when you're the third wheel,
you can always find a place to fit in.
Join us next time
on Three Wheeling.
On Three Wheeling.
On Free Wheeling.